We just had a massive rainstorm in Los Angeles, and I'll tell you one thing I'm not gonna do: go for a swim in the ocean. Let's get into it. In the wake of Hurricane Hillary, we have a beautiful day in Los Angeles. It's almost like the hurricane never happened. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, nice warm day. There's probably very few things I would like to do more than head to the beach and go for a swim. But I'm not going to do that. First of all, because I'm working 7 days in a row this week, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. But also because it's right after a rainstorm, and it's just not a good time to jump in the water. The reason is because, I don't know if you've noticed, but the sidewalks and streets in Los Angeles are not exactly the cleanest. And after a rainstorm, especially a very brisk rainstorm like the one we just had, what happens to all the contamination, all the trash and everything on the sidewalks and the streets? Well, it ends up finding its way to the storm drains, all the way to the beach and the ocean. Now, one thing in particular is bacteria. So there's a bacteria called Enterococcus. This is a bacteria that is found in the human gastrointestinal tract. And it's actually found at you can detect higher levels of this bacteria at our beaches after rainstorms. So how in the world would a bacteria that's in the human gastrointestinal tract end up on our sidewalks and streets and then eventually find its way to the beach? I'll leave that to your imagination. But that is a fact, and unfortunately, this is one of the bacteria that can cause disease in human beings. Other bacteria include E. coli. There's also Salmonella, Shigella, Campylobacter. Some of these can lead to colitis or inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. But also viruses. So hepatitis A is a virus that's also transmitted through the fecal-oral route, and there's a greater risk of exposure to this going to the beaches right after a rainstorm. So really, how long should we be waiting after rain before we don our bathing suits and head out to the local beaches? Or I guess in California, we're throwing on wetsuits, headed out to the beaches. It's pretty cold, cold by my standards. Just because I'm a baby when it comes to cold weather. Anyway, you really should wait 72 hours or 3 days after the last rainstorm. And this gives enough time for everything to sort of calm down, return back to normal, and then the risk of getting exposed to bacteria, viruses, returns back to just the usual, what you would expect. All right, this is an unfortunate reality that happens in California after rainstorms. I wish this wasn't the case. I would love to hear your ideas for how we could maybe clean up our streets and sidewalks so that it's not such an issue when it rains. I don't know, some ideas I have, maybe we could use more public restrooms in California. I know they're pretty hard to come by in Los Angeles, at least. And maybe if we had more of those, there would be less potential for human waste to end up in our gutters and storm drains. So that's just one idea, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. If you like healthcare or medical adjacent content like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button there or check out another video here. And I'll see you guys next time.